What is up, everybody? This is Bravens back once again for another NFL video. I am doing my predictions for the NFL teams records and the playoff structure. And so, yeah, this is how we're going to roll. I'm going to show you the record first, and I can go into depth with all the teams started. That was my power rankings, but I will talk about what I think for the AFC and the NFC playoffs, as well as I think how everything will finish. So starting in the AFC, we had Buffalo at 14-3, Cincinnati at 12-5, the Chargers at 12-5, the Colts at 10-7, the Chiefs at 11-6, the Ravens at 11-6, and the Dolphins at 10-7. This is my playoffs. Honestly, that 10th seed could have gone down to the Dolphins, Broncos, maybe the Raiders, maybe the Titans, Steelers, maybe the Browns. But yeah, that's it. And then I won't go into that for anything else, but yeah, that's I think every team record will be. And if you disagree, once again, feel free to talk about it. In the NFC side, Packers at 12-5, Tampa at 12-5, the Rams at 11-6, the Eagles at 11-6, the Vikings at 11-6, the Niners at 10-7, and the Cowboys at 10-7. And once again, these are all the other records that I think every other team will have. Once again, if you disagree with any of this, feel free to talk about it. So yeah, here is my wild card predictions. I have Kansas City at win the 5 seed at the Colts. They'll be in Indianapolis. I have the Chargers in the 3 beating the Ravens in the 6, and the Bengals in the 7 beating Miami at Bengals in the 2 beating Miami in the 7. However, I could see things working out where Miami could beat the Bengals, or if these two were switched, maybe the Chargers would beat Miami, and maybe the Bengals, the Ravens would play with. I think it'd be an easier matchup for the Ravens to play the Bengals and the Chargers. Or they could argue the Chargers be the easier matchup because the home field advantage won't be as big of a deal. But anyways, in the NFC side, I have this as my first upset. The Minnesota Vikings beating the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm mainly doing this just because I don't 100% ready to trust Jalen Hurts in the playoffs just yet. This is technically still a rebuilding year for the Eagles. And I do think the Vikings are the more experienced team. And I do think the Vikings will get revenge from that 2018 conference championship and win. And then here's the divisional matchup right here, where the Rams, just like last year's playoffs, will be home, and I do think they will beat the 6 seed 49ers once again. It's at the 7 seed, the 4 seed, they are the 3 seed. And finally, the Dallas Cowboys in the 7 seed beating Tampa Bay. This is another one that if this would happen in real life, I could see this an upset. I could see Dallas beating them. But once again, Dak Prescott didn't show me enough to win in the playoffs. Yes, he's fallen flat every year, except for like 2018 when he made the divisional round and he did enough to win. However, the defense collapsed, which once again, I don't trust Dallas's defense to hold up against Tampa Bay. Also, Mike McCarthy is a complete hack of a head coach. And I do think he will get fired if they don't make the playoffs. But in this situation, they do, and if that's the case, he will stay. All right. Oh, by the way, I did plan in my top 5 overrated and top 5 underrated teams, so I could go into more depth later on talking about that. Here is my divisional round predictions. The Chargers in the 3 seed, I have beating the Bengals in the 2. Mainly because I do think the Bengals are a good team. I do think this will be a battle where one team wins. However, in this situation, I do see Justin Herbert is, I feel like, a bit more on the clutch side than Joe Burrow, especially last year when week 18, where they were this close away from making the Super Bowl. Not the Super Bowl, the playoffs. Only for their coach to call a timeout, and it was unneeded to. But anyways, I do think the Chargers will beat beat the Bengals in the 3 seeds and make the conference championship. And for the other one, we got Kansas City and Buffalo in a rematch. Is that this time Buffalo's home field advantage, and Kansas City is a wild card team and not the 2 seed, just like last year. So with that, I think the Bills will move on to the conference championship against the Chargers. In the NFC side, this is where I don't trust Kirk Cousins at all. I don't trust him to go into Lambeau and beat the Packers straight up. I do think this is where Rodgers gets his redemption, and I do think the defense does enough to hold the Vikings offense despite just Jefferson. Except my prediction that Justin Jefferson will have the best season for a wide receiver this year. And finally, Tampa Bay in the 2 seed, beating the 3 seed Rams in a revenge from last year. Honestly, this is another game that's go back and forth on, but I didn't see a situation where I think Tom Brady would go back-to-back years losing in a divisional round, and back-to-back years where I don't see where Tom Brady gets a chance to play the Rams again, he would do that. It would lose again. And I do think Tampa will be enough to hold the Rams offense to let Tom Brady do his thing, and they will go to the conference championship against the Packers. And here we have my Super Bowl prediction. The Buffalo Bills taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We'll start off with the games themselves. This is where Herbert's experience will fall off. Herbert may be a great quarterback, and I do think he will be in the contention for MVP. But I don't trust his experience to go right into the Super Bowl his 3rd year. And again, Joe Burrow did it his 2nd year. And also another prediction of mine is I think the Bills will have the best defense this year. And this is where the defense will do enough to shut down the Chargers. Josh Allen does his thing, and the Chargers lose heartbreaking fashion. Whether it's by a last-second play to Stephon Diggs or Gabriel Davis in the end zone, or whether it's a game-winning field goal by Tyler Bass, I think the Bills move on to the Super Bowl. In the NFC side, a rematch from the 2020 Conference Championship, and the results is the same. Not very good. Back to the Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers goes home in heartbreak. This is another game where I think Aaron Rodgers will do enough to keep them in the game, but Packers defense will start to fall off, and Tom Brady will head back to the Super Bowl. All right. And finally, the Super Bowl. My Super Bowl 57 predictions. The Buffalo Bills are your Super Bowl champions. Josh Allen is a top 5 quarterback. They have one of the best defenses in the league. I wouldn't even say Josh Allen top 5 quarterback. He's the top 3 quarterback at this point. And as I said, for Bills have one of the best defenses in the league. I do like the roster all in all. I don't think they have many weaknesses. And Tampa Bay goes out with the loss against Buffalo. And I think this is where Tom Brady hangs it up, only losing 4 Super Bowls, but being enough. I think he'll do enough to keep them in the game, but this is where Tampa's defense will start to show their cracks. And once again, Josh Allen pulls through in the clutch and gets the Bills their first Lombardi. So yeah, that is my predictions. Let's do them once again. That's my wild card. That's my divisional. This is my conference championship, and this is my Super Bowl. So those are my predictions. I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you guys next time. Peace out and release.